Well, today we're going to be talking about food. So I'm joined here by Carlos Zamora, and today this is going to be the beginning of a series of chats that we'll have on various food-related items around Cantabria. So welcome here today, Carlos.
That's nice, very nice to.
And that's what we created this podcast about. Is people are moving here. And I'm really passionate to help them understand why certain things are the way they are, why certain Cantabrian cultural things are. Because I firmly believe that if you don't understand and don't have that level of education, how can you contribute to culture? Culture is a living thing. Yeah. And so, thanks so much for being my foodie to talk to. So on that, we might segue into the ocean and how the ocean has played an influence on what people eat in Cantabria, and the industry that it has brought to Santander and obviously other ports as well, Laredo, Castro, and as an Irish person, there's always been such a connection between Ireland and the north of Spain. There's a voyage, there's a Camino that goes St. Brendan's Way he came on his currach, and they enacted it about 10 years ago with famous Irish museums coming on a currach similarly. So the ocean, I guess, and has opened up a country where Cantabria was seen as the top of the country. But sometimes people say that Cantabria and the north of Spain is more connected to the likes of Ireland or England or Nordics than it is even than the south of Spain.
I mean, Cantabria it's got some of the most important ports of Spain. It's got Castro, Laredo,
and they were part of the
Santander.
Adriatic.
They were part of the Cinco Villas. I mean, they were the biggest, most important in terms of construction of ships.
Of course.
In the 15th century and before that, and also in terms of sailors and in terms of very important sailors that did all the trips to Asia, to the States, to everywhere. It's always been like a sailor's kind of land. So that's been. And in terms of fishing, I was just reading the other day. There's only about the late 19th century, one of the biggest industries in Cantabria was the fishing industry. It's always been very important. So there was always we have a lot of industry that did do salt fish. So that's been a major part. So we have a lot of boats that go and fish tuna, lots of boats that go and fish anchovies. We are the world's leading,
of course, Santoña
and Laredo. We're the world's leading production for tinned tuna, white tuna, and also for anchovies. So that's been a big industry there in the fishing wise, because Cantabria, which is the sea above us, it has this amazing thing that for the next 10 kilometers onto when the beach starts, there's like 10 kilometers of a base, and then it goes down up to 8,000 meters down the sea like that. So basically, the sea was mountains. So there were mountains in the sea. So for the next 8 kilometers of the sea, it's mountains and valleys that were covered by the sea. So we have this amazing kind of valleys, beaches inside the sea. So it makes these amazing current connections, and it comes all the way from Osegod, from France, and all the way to Llanes de Asturias.
Wow.
So we have all these rocks and mountains and valleys in the sea. The same valleys that we have here in the mountains, you have them in the sea, which I only found out 5 years ago, by the way. So that's why there's some special currents. The nutrients in the Cantabrico are different to other parts of the sea in Galicia or in France. So it's richer in a way. And the biodiversity of the sea in this part of Cantabria, it's absolutely amazing. So we have this huge number, lots of species, lots of richness in the sea. And everybody just basically lived of the fish. In the late 18th century, this guy from Madrid came and he started to share all the knowledge, all the different fishermen in the villages in Santander, and they started to make salted fish.
Right.
Because there was a need of protein in the inland Spain.
Sure.
So
to
that's
preserve
why this,
it and
yeah,
then
to preserve
send
it. So
it.
that's because there wasn't enough food in inland Spain.
Of course.
So that's why until early 20th century in Santander there was a big industry. It's actually now in Santander there's no factories actually, which is unusual. We've lost that part in Santander.
And there's so few fishing trawlers that go out from.
We have maybe about 14 fishermen, fish boats that go out. I go and, for example, in our restaurants, we go not every morning, but 4 times a week. We go to the lonja, which is the fishermen's stock market. It gets auctioned at 6 o'clock in the morning, and whoever, there's us and the fishermen. Not the fishermen, sorry, the fishmongers.
Yes.
So the fishmongers go and buy the fish from there. All the fish gets put on the floor with ice, and you decide from each boat, and then you take a look. You have half an hour to look at the fish, you kind of take notes down, and then there's an auction before the fish starts going down. The price from, let's say, the fisherman decides I want it to be bought at 20 euros. So price starts 20 euros, 1995, 1990, and the first person who presses the button, he will get the fish. So if you're stingy, you won't get the fish.
Yeah.
And so whoever wants the best fish, he gets paid more. Fisherman gets paid more. So the fishermen are really happy when you pay more for the fish.
Of course,
so
that's their hard work.
So one of our bases in our restaurants is going there every morning because I know who the fishermen are. So,
you've known them for a long time.
So you know them, and you know that it's fresh. It was caught yesterday.
Yeah.
Because also in Cantabria, I think. When I've read the statistics, we are the region in Spain that eats most fish per head per year in Cantabria because of this, because it's our closeness to. So there's a lot of imports of also fish from other parts of Spain that don't eat so much fish. So we kind of eat. A lot of people eat fish every day, and there's this culture of eating the fish of the season. Like we're going to now we're on the sea bass season. Yeah. And this month we'll start el sarda, which is mackerel, and then we'll have chicharro, and then we'll have squid, and then we'll have tuna. So every kind of month or 2 months you have the different seasons of the fish that come into the Cantabrico from Galicia. They do, because each species follows another species.
Right.
So
the migration trends in the ocean as well.
So there's a big migration. So, for example, white tuna, they start appearing in Galicia late June or middle June, and they get here. They'll be here halfway through the end of June, and then they'll be here until the end of September, and then they go up to France, and then they do this kind of huge. All the way to America. Wow. The white tunas do that, and then the little fish like anchovies, they do the same. Wow. So the big fish follow the small fish.
Wow, incredible.
So there's this migration in the fish in the Cantabrico because of the richness, as I said, of all the underneaths of the mountain valleys in the sea.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, it's quite.
Well, one of my favorite things to do is to come here and have the lubina with the grilled vegetables.
Yeah, we do that. We always put vegetables, and we always put roast potatoes. Yeah. We cook it with fish stock. That was a traditional way. I've learned it from my grandmother, from my mother. So we roast the potatoes with kind of a fish stock. So that's really tasty. And then whatever vegetables of the day, you kind of do a mixture, and that's it's always been a kind of a traditional way of eating. When I grew up, you had small fish that we'll see them later, and bigger fish, and then when there was a big fish like a machote, like a 3 kilo, 4 kilo, that was reserved for special occasions. So for someone's birthday or something to celebrate, a big fish was like a big event. Because so that's and then there's a lot of recipes for each because fish would be for like you'll have tuna for a whole month or 2 months, so that you have to eat tuna with so many recipes so you don't get bored, so you end up developing like 20 recipes so that it doesn't look the same or taste the same, You know, so you have it one day with potato, another day with the green garlic and peppery sauce, and then another day with ratatouille, and then another day
And
with
canning tuna is such a, canning tuna in
tuna.
olive oil, in the glass jars.
and the glass, and then preserving it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I had seen that before I moved to Cantabria.
That's a big thing. That's all families. They always
have
buy
a day,
one or
right?
a day. They get together, they can the tuna.
Yeah.
It's also they can roast peppers.
Peppers, yes.
Roast peppers, sometimes tomato as well.
Yeah.
The tomato season. Because it would be normal in Cantabria, in the villages, everybody would have. Nowadays, it's kind of not so many people have it, but still some have their own kind of little garden.
Exactly.
Vegetable garden.
Yeah.
So when tomatoes would come, they would put, tin the tomatoes. Same with peppers and then from the fish, the tuna and the anchovies.
And the anchovies, of course.
Anchovies,
yeah. And you go out and fish yourself, don't you?
I'm not. I like.
I see you going out in your little boat.
Yeah, I've got a little boat. But I'm not a very good fisherman because my dad was not a fisherman, and my dad had a little boat. My granddad had a little boat, but my granddad was not from here.
Right.
My granddad worked in the Spanish railways, and he came here when he was like 25 or 30 actually. So he didn't grow up with someone teaching him to fish.
Yeah.
So my dad didn't learn, and I didn't learn. But we know how to row, and we have this kind of small wooden body. They call little boats that we have in the bay. There was lots. Actually, still see them now. Now they've turned into wood, then into fiberglass, and there's a lot of. In the morning now, you will see every morning more than 100 men, normally, who go out to fish every day as a hobby.
And it just feeds into the slow lifestyle, doesn't it?
Kind of wake up, let's go and see them fish today.
What an amazing way to live.
And they fish and they bring back to the house and they cook it with them, with their families, and they sometimes when they fish a lot, they will come to you and say, "Do you want
to share?"
Yeah.
My son is turning 9 in April next month now, and he has asked for a fishing license.
Okay, that's
for
nice.
his, but neither of us know. I fished with my dad when I was younger because we in Ireland on our farm there's a river at the end of it, and it had a lot of fish in it when we were growing up. So I have fished, but I wouldn't. I'd have to watch a few YouTubes, I think, to remember how to do it.
But what you can do is people are very because I've come with my children too. Yeah. If you come to any part around here and there's a fisherman around, they'll teach them.
Good.
Because people share kind of knowledge, so there'll be someone.
That's a good idea. I should just do that rather than
put them next to.
Go say hi.
Say hello, and if you ask them, how do you do this, and they'll tell you the whole philosophy about fishing.
No, that's a really good idea. And it is a lovely thing to pass between generations, and it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be from father to son or mother to son, or you can outsource that.
I've done it with fishermen, with because I didn't know how to do it, so just stand next to them, and after about 5 minutes, by the way, and people are nice, they'll share.
Yeah. And so Rabas, talk to me about Rabas, because Rabas is such a big thing here in Santander, isn't it?
Rabas, I grew up with eating Rabas mostly on Sundays. It was a very kind of you go to Mass, and then after Mass your granddad and your dad will take you to the local bar and you'll eat a couple of portions of Rabas. So Rabas is a squid, and depends on the season, it would be one squid or another, because there's like 5 types of different squids, and they would put them in flour. You have to put it in flour and sea salt, and then you fry it in olive oil. Now this comes where it comes from. Where does it come from? I think we're the region that eats most Rabas, especially in Santander and other villages. But there's also, I think, my vision that it comes from the Chicucos. Chicucos that were the people that went to work in. There's a big connection between Santander and Cádiz, and Cádiz are the biggest. They fry a lot there. So people would go to work when they were 11 years old. They would go to another Santander family to work in domestic or in supermarkets in Cádiz, because in Cádiz there were the people that would take all the kind of foods for the ships that would go to America as well. So there's a big, and they were called Chicucos, from Cantabria. So there's a big Cantabrian community in Cádiz, And through a client, actually, she comes, Anna, she brought me that her theory, it was that her grandfather that brought it from Cadiz.
Wow.
Because we didn't fry, we didn't use a lot of olive oil from there, but the Chicuco connection, because they fry a lot in Cadiz, in Cadiz, the biggest the frying experts in Spain, because there wasn't that much olive oil here. So through the Chicucos, I think, and there's a big squid, huge squid kind of season in Spain, in Santander. So I think it's from the Chicucos.
Oh, they're definitely a favourite
Early
for many
1920s,
people.
early 1920s.
Yeah.
That was brought here.
But I love how, there's just different things that signal a different part of culture. Rabas on a Sunday after Mass, or the family getting together, or maybe the mums and grandmas were gone home to prepare the lunch, and so the dad was looking after the children while reading the paper.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah, that's classic actually. It wasn't the grandmothers; it was the granddad that would take you. And it was also time of meeting other families, other people.
Yeah, because everyone would have been doing the same thing.
And you were young, and children always had. It was mosto with like.
Yes, of course.
Mosto is a grapefruit juice, and then they would. I can't remember. I think would drink wine probably, not even beer at the time.
Yeah.
So Rabas is a big. Still, I think for all of us that it brings you back all the memories of those times. So people still have a lot of rabas. We sell a lot of rabas.
Yeah.
What we've decided to do, because now there's a lot of import of squid from other countries, that you don't know the real origin. There's a big Greenpeace just did last year a big campaign about the hidden slavery in the squid system. So we only buy squid from Santander.
Right.
So we only buy the squid which is not frozen, it's fresh. It's harder because you have to clean it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. Cleaning squid is it's not an easy.
We started
task.
to make it at home, and I know
it's not an easy.
No.
It's better to ask the fisherman to clean it for you. The fishmonger.
Yeah.
So rabas, so that's one
fantastic. And it's Santander rabas are different to calamari that you'll get in other parts of Spain, right?
Yeah.
Or in other countries.
In other parts of Spain, they, for example, in Bilbao, they would put it in egg batter. Egg batter, and then in other parts you just don't eat it. You don't eat it as much.
Yeah.
Or there'll be. I think this is the town, and everybody copy now is actually in fashion. If we go to a Madrid restaurant, they say Rabas from Santander.
Yes, I've seen that.
You'll see, you go to a restaurant, so it's like it's associated with this town. Which is good.
Fantastic.
As long as you put squid from here, I think.
Yes, and not pretend.
I think we should do something like they've done in France with a famous fish soup, to have like a denomination of origin, so that you have to prove that it's from here. We've done a postcard with says we have a stamp that we buy it from here, so that makes a real raba. I think a real raba has to be with squid from Cantabria, because the taste is completely different.
Yeah.
So I think that's I vote for that anyway.
I second you.
Okay.